Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel, and today we are live for the first Ultra Unlock event on Pokemon GO. It is Hisuian Celebrations Event, which does include some amazing bonuses. So we're going to be talking all into that as well, but we're going to be walking around we're going to be making the most of all of the event, and we'll be talking a little bit about. Hey Emma, how are you? So yeah, we'll be talking a little bit about the event, of course, the introduction of Hisuian Zorua in the game, which is very exciting, and a way in which you can get a guaranteed extra large or extra small Hisuian Zorua every single time. So we're going to be talking a little bit into that as well. And we'll actually start off with that because of this little guy here, Gourgeist, or its first evolution form, Pumpkaboo. Now, Pumpkaboo evolves into Gourgeist, and if you remember, Pumpkaboo is the only Pokemon in the game which does appear at its different sizes on the map. So you notice the different sizes of Pumpkaboo straight away from that overview map, and because of that, if you have an extra large Pumpkaboo, then every single Zorua you see will be extra large. The same as if you have an extra small Pumpkaboo or Gourgeist, its evolution, if you make that your buddy, then every single Zorua you see will be extra small. So it's a really handy way of trying to complete that extra large and extra small Pokedex if you are needing that for Zorua. Dead easy to do. And of course, it adds a little bit of value if you do end up getting lucky enough to get a hundo, but it is a extra large or extra small. So as you see here, if we catch this through, and straight away we do catch it first ball. Hey Dan, how are you? Thanks so much for joining. And a little bit of a glitch out there. That's supposed to be Zorua, but it's glitched out. So let's just run away from that and have a look here. And as you can see, sure enough, it is extra large. So that is because we were using an extra large Gourgeist as our buddy. So that's an easy way to get an extra large Zorua in the game. So if you are wanting an extra small one, then make sure to turn your buddy into an extra small Pumpkaboo or Gourgeist, and you will easily get an extra small one every single time. Let's try it again. So this event has obviously been going on since Tuesday. It finishes today at 8 PM local time. So we've got around about 3 hours left to do of the event. And again, it's done this weird glitch, which and now it's actually frozen because I didn't do a quick catch that time. It's completely frozen the game. Not the best start to a live stream, but we'll try again. Let's see if we can load up and try again on this. Now, comment phone, as you saw before, it popped up on the screen. Temperature's too hot. I'm not surprised really. It has been very hot in the UK the last few days, and perhaps a little bit too hot to go walking around and making the most of this event with the 4x Stardust and 4x XP. It's been a little bit too hot. I've personally been going around for very late night walks to make the most of this event and to get XP and Stardust when it's a bit cooler, because normally around about 2-3 o'clock time during the day when I would normally go live, even up until 8 o'clock at night, it's been in the high 20s, low 30s some days. So we're not used to it here in the UK. By no means are we used to it here in the UK. So let's just get our buddy Gourgeist out and about. And hopefully now we've restarted the game, we shouldn't get that weird glitch with the little bits of grass when we encountered Zorua. That was a little bit weird, that was. But yeah, we'll also keep spinning these Pokestops. So the eagle-eyed viewer may also notice we've already set ourselves up with lucky eggs and star pieces. Excellent for a Zubat, that's actually quite cool. So with these star pieces and lucky eggs, of course, lucky eggs, 2 times XP from a lucky egg. So whatever XP you normally earn for a catch, you'll get twice as much. And with this event, we get 4 times catch XP anyway, which means it results in that. When you use a lucky egg and 4 times catch XP with an excellent throw, you will get 9,500 XP per catch. So if you do 10 excellent throws, 11 excellent throws at the most, you'll get over 100,000 XP. It is absolutely crazy the amount of XP on offer. If you ever wanted to level up or start working on your XP, this is the event to do it. And so goes for Stardust as well. So Stardust, we have got 4 times catch Stardust, which means with a star piece, you can make that up to 6 times catch Stardust, which again is very, very good. And in fact, I actually found a Ordino on my daily adventure incense, which we'll turn on now. Just reminding me about those, that's quite decent. But I found an Ordino on my daily adventure incense yesterday, and that actually racked up 12,000 Stardust just for 1 catch. It was a ridiculous find. Of course, Ordino normally drops quite a lot of Stardust anyway, but times that by 6, and it ended up being 12,000 and something odd Stardust. So it was an incredible find. But very, very much enjoying this event for the XP and Stardust. Let me know if you've been enjoying this event as well. If it's been too hot to get out and about, let me know in the comments. But I have been very, very much enjoying this event. It's just a shame it has been too hot during the day, else we could have done some longer grinding sessions. But I'm quite happy with what we've managed to get so far, and I will be doing a results video later on today just to go over what we've managed to get during this event. So that'll be posted on the channel either today or tomorrow, depending on how busy I am later. But of course, tomorrow night we will be live again for the Max Monday, and we've got a new Max Monday. We've got a new Dynamax being released tomorrow, and that is Whalmer. So Whalmer, the little whale Pokemon, or big whale Pokemon should I say, is going to get its Dynamax release tomorrow. So that'll be quite cool. Girafarig. So you can see here that I am actually using quite a few golden raspberries, and that's just because we've got so many from the Go Fest still a few weeks ago. We were getting golden razzies from completed raids, but the raids were so easy to catch from, so therefore we just kept on pine-abbing them. So the golden razzies, we just started accumulating a stupid amount of golden razzies. And with this event having quite difficult Pokemon to catch really, spawning in the wild, I thought it might as well be a case that when I do hit an excellent throw, if I've used a golden razzie, it hopefully stays in a little bit easier than normal. And there we go. Transformed into Hisuian Zorua. We actually get to see it this time. And as you see there, instant extra, extra large because of that buddy we chosen. What Pokemon are we after today? So we're after the shiny increased Pokemon. So we Quillfish and Voltorb. They are both shiny increases. Of course, I'm hoping to try and get a decent Hisuian Zorua. I would love a Hundo, but I don't think that's going to happen. But I don't think I've had many 3-stars so far this event. So I'd love to get a decent Hisuian Zorua. And then, of course, it's mainly as well the XP and Stardust. That's going to be a real big gain. Of course, for those who have been following the channel for a bit now, we have been aiming for a very big total by the end of this year in terms of XP. And we are trying to target 1 billion XP by the end of this year, of which we started this year on 541 million. And these events, where we're getting virtually 10,000 XP per catch, are going a long way to help it. There you go. Might as well have a golden raspberry at this stage. As long as we hit that excellent throw, that's fine. Didn't think that was going to stay in over 1000 CP. Quillfish. So let me know if you've had any of these shiny boosted Pokemon so far during this event. Like I mentioned before, the Quillfish and the Voltorb are shiny boosted to around 1 in 128 to 1 in 64, around those sort of odds. So have you been lucky enough to encounter either one or both of those this event? Now, of course, when the event started on Tuesday, we had a spotlight hour on Tuesday night and it featured Voltorb. Both versions of Voltorb were featured, the Kanto and the Hisuian. Of course, the Kanto full odds, the Hisuian boosted because of this event. I got both shiny but no hundo. Yeah, I don't think I've had any hundo so far this event, which is a little bit annoying. I think the last hundo I had was back during the EV Com Day a couple of weekends ago now, last weekend I think it was. Hey Callum, how are you? Thanks so much for tuning in. We're just trying to get some excellent throws as well. Yeah, sure, Callum. I can. If you hang on a second, I can put my trainer code up on the screen, and then anybody who hasn't yet added me, who regularly tunes into the live stream, can send me a request. Just make sure to comment down below if you do send me a request, so I know who it is. Let's try and get some excellent throws on these petty lulls. Zorua from huge Zorua as well, but it's guaranteed to be extra large, like we said. So in order to add me, you will need to write down this code that I'm going to put up on the screen now. So if you haven't yet added me in the game, make sure to add me using that trainer code. So write that trainer code down and add me by typing it into that box at the bottom of the screen, and you can find me through that. So 760780708259. Make sure to write that down and send me a request, and let me know in the comments when you have done so. Hey, Pokemon Go lover, how are you? Yeah, unfortunately, Callum, you can't add people just through the name. You have to add people through that code that I've just shown on my screen. So even if you did write your name down, I wouldn't still be able to find you. Haven't seen you in a long time, I know. It's been ages since you've dropped in on a live stream. Where have you been? What have you been doing? Excellent throw. Quillfish seems to be a little bit annoying to do an excellent throw, and I can sometimes nail it, and then other times I can really, really mess it up. So yeah, we are just walking at a slower pace today because we are going to try and get as many excellent throws as possible, because the difference between an excellent throw and a great throw is ridiculous in terms of XP this event. So we are going to try our hardest to hit as many excellent throws as possible and watch that XP go up. And let's just have a quick look and see what XP we are on. And we are on 851 400. So 851 400 is what we are on in terms of XP. I've been fishing and playing Pokemon Go. Awesome. Hey Rev, how are you? Thanks so much for dropping in. Did I miss anything? Not really. Don't think so. Obviously a lot of live streams. I'm guessing you've missed a lot of live streams, a lot of shinies, some glaring birds, maybe even a glaring bird shiny. I can't remember when you last tuned in. But yeah, we've had some really cool live streams. So make sure to not leave it so long until next time when you tune in. It's always a better live stream when people regularly get involved in the comments. I can't find you. So you have to write down that trainer code there. So 760780708259. And you have to add it in when you go on your friends list, click add friend, and you have to type it in at this box down here. Type it in, press send, and I will get an invite through. Now I've got Beto Gets Gurup. Hi Leland, how are you? I'm doing fantastic, Dan's. Finally got myself a shiny Magikarp, got a shiny Basculin White Stripe, and shiny Hisuian Voltorb. That is awesome. For Basculin especially, because a little known fact, and not many people might know this, is that the the White Stripe Basculin, I don't want to interrupt the peacock, the White Stripe Basculin is the only one that can evolve. Now, it can't evolve in the game at the moment, but for anybody who has got the Scarlet and Violet game, I believe, it can evolve. It is the only one that can evolve. In fact, it's the Arceus game. I've just remembered myself. It's the Arceus game, and the White Stripe Basculin is the only one that will be able to be evolved, unless, of course, they do bring out evolutions for the Red Stripe and the Blue Stripe eventually. But for the meantime, in the Nintendo Switch games, the White Stripe one is definitely one to try and get a shiny one of in Pokemon Go, because it is the only one that can evolve in the future, and hopefully not very far away. Hopefully we do get that shiny release, that evolution release, should I say, in Pokemon Go very soon. So of course, for those who have just tuned in, we are trying to see what we can get shiny during this event. We're trying to hunt down for XP because of the ridiculous bonus during this event. 4 times catch XP, 4 times catch Stardust. It's absolutely crazy, meaning that an excellent throw with a lucky egg results in nearly 10,000 XP, 9,460 per excellent throw during this event. It's crazy amount of XP. And in fact, you'll hopefully be able to see it for yourself on this Starly when we catch this. You'll hopefully be able to see how much XP we get. There you go, 9,360 for a Starly. A very cool amount of XP. Hey, Mr. Gecko. Yeah, I've just added you as well. Yeah, that's brilliant. How many hundos do you have in total, or just this event? I'm guessing you mean in total. I have deleted a few hundos as well in the past, which seems to shock a lot of people. But I think I ended up having like about 4 or 5 hundo chances. I mean, who needs that many? Yeah, sometimes hundos do go in the bin. But yeah, I'm guessing you mean in total. Love this event so much. XP, Stardust, I've been grinding outside. Yeah, it's definitely worth grinding, this event is 100%. Lapras. Nice little 6 shiny Voltors today, and had to get rid of a few. Yeah, exactly. It does get to a stage where you have to sort of go through your shinies and delete quite a few of them. From community days, for example, when you end up with like 30, 40 shinies on some community days, especially the Eevee one, but Eevee one we of course had 2 days for as well recently. So nearly 60, 70 shinies potentially people got that event. I only keep the 2 stars for trades and the 3 stars for myself. That's the only shinies I keep for any community day. 1 stars and 0 stars go instantly into the bin. And then even some 2 stars, if they're like really terrible 2 stars, and I've got quite a lot of 2 stars, then I'll filter through those as well and chuck a few of those in a bin. So after each community day, I'm probably only left with around about 10 shinies remaining that I've actually decided to keep. So I really cut back on those, else you can just get overwhelmed with so many rubbish shinies in your stories, which you're literally just going to sit there and not do a thing. Gigantamax Lapras is indeed coming back. Yes, that's this next weekend. It's on Saturday, the 19th of July. It is indeed coming back. And of course, a max battle day means a 1 in 10 shiny rate as well. Very much similar to the Lilligant shiny rate that we saw yesterday. I just want some Shundos, but I never see them only Hundos. Yeah, the Shundos are very hard to come by. Of course, I've managed to get a couple of wild Shundos. Very happy to get a couple of wild Shundos, but most of my Shundos have come from either raids or lucky trades, in fact. So it is obviously a better chance of getting Hundos, or Shundos, should I say, through lucky trades or raids. But you can get them in the wild, you just have to be very lucky. I think I've ended up getting about 3 Shundos in the wild. I've been extremely lucky with that. And one of those was a 1 in 512 rate as well, which was a Oddish, a wild Shundo Oddish, completely random, not even during an event where it was spawning, it was just completely random out of an event, and a wild Shundo Oddish. So let's see if I can just get this comment phone turned on. I could pick up on some of the comments. I'm trying to read it all on one screen at the moment because this phone keeps on overheating because just of how hot it is at the moment here in the UK. But let's see if we can get this comment feed back on. Hopefully I can get up to date with all the comments. So apologies if I haven't got back to you so far. Comment phone is now on. How long it will last, I don't know, but let's see if we can catch up with some of these comments. Pokemon GO lover, I got a shiny first raid yesterday. That was obviously for Hisuian Lilligant. Very cool shiny Hisuian Lilligant, and I'm very happy that you got a shiny first raid as well. That is awesome. I think my only shiny yesterday was from a second raid, and it was a 98 as well, which is incredibly lucky. I did buy the ticket, so I did have 14 free raid passes, and then we only spent 1 more green raid pass, and that was it for me. I was quite happy not going after the Hundo for Lilligant, because of course it's no different Hundo in the decks to what the normal Lilligant is. So if you get a normal Hundo Petilil and evolve it to Lilligant, you have a Hundo registered in the deck. So it's not really a Hundo that I was overly worried about chasing in the raids, of course. Right, let's catch up on some of these comments. You cannot sleep on me. This is a rare opportunity to farm, exactly, yeah. Let's just scroll down. Hi, I send you gifts. Thank you very much for that, Callum. I did accept your invite just a second ago, so thanks very much for that. Let's see if we can get a backwards throw on that quillfish. Caught it, but not an excellent throw or anything. I also got a shiny Voltorb, the Hisuian one or the normal one? I'm guessing the Hisuian. Obviously, we've only really had the normal one during this event on the Spotlight Hour on Tuesday. But were you lucky enough to get the normal one on Tuesday, or was you just lucky enough to get the Hisuian one? The Hisuian, yeah. I mean, out of the two, I would prefer the Hisuian shiny. I think it's the nicest looking shiny out of the Kanto and the Hisuian. Of course, the Kanto goes to that lovely blue colour, but the Hisuian goes to that lovely black colour, whereas it is obviously normally red. So it does change a lot more, and it is a very, very cool shiny. I do love shinies which are black. If you think of Rayquaza and Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon, they just look so cool with that black detail on them. It's just really, really nice when we do that sort of shiny. Take your time, bro. Yeah. Thanks so much. I need to Mega Evolve my Hundo Tyranitar. When you reckon I'll be able to obtain the energy? So the Megas tend to come round every now and again. It's been a bit now since we've had Tyranitar, so I would fully expect it perhaps in a few more weeks' time. If you remember, in August sometime, we normally have Adventure Week. And Adventure Week, we normally see a rock type Mega in raid, so maybe Tyranitar, maybe Aerodactyl or something like that. So potentially in August we may see a return of Mega Tyranitar. Keep an eye out for that. If not, I would definitely suspect it in at least the maximum, I would say, is about 2 months' time that we may see it, because we do change the Megas probably once every week, the same time that we do the legendaries. And for instance, tomorrow the legendary changes from Solgaleo to Terrakion, and at the same time the Mega changes and we get Mega Blastoise tomorrow. So that is what's going to be on Mega Raids as tomorrow. 14 CP Hisuian Zorua, but it won't stay 14 CP, unfortunately. It will change, as you'll see in just a second. I use 10 raid passes and no shiny Charizard. Yeah, so unfortunately from the Mega Raids, the shiny rate from Mega Raids used to be 1 in 64. When the Megas first came around, that was the going shiny rate. And then they updated it and it actually increased the shiny rate to 1 in 128. They actually made it twice as worse. But still, 1 in 128 is better than full odds, 1 in 512. So annoyingly, it has got worse over the years, but still 1 in 128 for those Mega Shinies. And that's also their shiny rate if ever you see them in the wild. So when we get that weird looking sky during this event, where we get that purple looking sky, you may see some of the Mega evolutions appearing in the wild. So Sizzle, perhaps quite a lot, and also Gengar. I've seen a lot of Gengar during this event, especially when that sky changes colour, and those in the wild have got that 1 in 128 shiny chance. So hopefully you can pick up a few of those, if not already in the wild. And still, after 8 years, 9 years of playing this game now, I've still never managed to get a shiny wild Gengar. I would love to get one this event, maybe in this live stream, who knows, but we'll have to wait and see if the sky does change colour, because it only seems to be spawning in the wild during those times when the sky does change colour. Now, there's a lot of rumours about when that sky changes colour, what we are going to get. And I think, as do most of the community that I've seen online, think that we all leads down to the Externius release. I hope that we're going to get Externius in the next couple of weeks, or at the end of this month potentially. Externius may very well get released in Pokemon Go. Now, in what shape or form, whether it will be Dynamax or Gigantamax or whatever, I'm not too sure, but it will be a super, super cool release for sure. So yeah, I very much think Externius is coming to the game. Now, there doesn't seem to be any consistency as to when this sky changes. When we get that deep purple sky, it looks really cool, by the way, but it seems to be on the hour, but there's no consistency. So it may stay normal gameplay like it is at the moment for around about 2-3 hours, and then all of a sudden it changes for an hour, and then it will change back. So I think people online have been trying to write down the times of and the days of which it's been changing this event to see if there's any sort of pattern, but I don't know if we've managed to find anything yet. Maybe in the next couple of days, once the event's finished and people have managed to sit down and try and see if there's any pattern, we may work something out, but who knows. I would only assume it's something to do with Externius. That's my guess anyway. Please like the live stream. If you haven't already, please subscribe, keep up to date with the stream and tons of information, any upcoming events. Exactly. Thanks very much, Rev, for that shout out. I've caught a few nice hundos. I've caught a couple of hundo bagons this event, and I've also caught a Magikarp. I was super lucky, caught a hundo Arcanine. That is very, very cool. That is super. Well done with that one. This event has been good for hundos. Yeah, unfortunately not for me, but still, we'll try and see if we can get any during today's live stream. Hopefully we can. Just fingers crossed we can. Would love a Zorua. Absolutely love a Zorua. Mega Ray Shiny rate unfortunately increases, I believe, something 100 plus odds. Yeah, exactly. 1 in 128 for those Mega Shinies. Me too. I've caught so many Gengars. I caught a Hundo Gengar. That is amazing. Well done. Literally today. That is super, super cool. And of course, a very, very cool Hundo to have because of its Mega evolution, and it's a very good Ghost and Poison type in the game. One of the top tiers in the game still. Gengar, even though it is a little bit glassy, it is still very, very cool Mega. Shame it wasn't a shiny one for you. That would have been amazing, a Shundo Gengar, but still very, very nice Hundo nonetheless. I wish I got a Shundo Bagon, but out of the two, I also got a Hundo Machop and also a Shiny Machop this event, being awesome. Yeah, it has been an awesome event. Hi Pikachu, how are you? You reckon we will see Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza raid again? I played during then, but I didn't get enough of any of the Hundos that I got a Shiny Kyogre. So I would fully expect that we do get them again at some stage. Of course, Groudon and Kyogre have recently been on raids. Over about a month ago now, we had those on raids in June time, so I wouldn't expect those anytime soon. Maybe we get the primal ones of them in around about 6 months time. It tends to be around about 6 months time that we do get Groudon and Kyogre come round. Once we'll get the normal forms like we did last month, and then around about 6 months later we'll get the primal forms. So I would fully expect around about November, maybe December time, we may get something, or maybe early next year, we may get the primal Kyogre and Groudon, which hopefully will lead into the Mega Rayquaza as well, because that is, of course, the Trinity from that region. Hey, Callum. I hope we do come back soon. I just need XL candies on all and grind energy, and I'm so low on them. Yeah, exactly. I do hope it comes back very, very soon for that reason as well. The only raid I'm waiting for is Mewtwo. I started playing last year. So Mewtwo is going to be a big one. And I think the Mewtwo is going to get released during the 10th anniversary. We are going to see Mega Mewtwo X and Mega Mewtwo Y. Now, that is just my opinion, but if you think about it, it would all make sense if that happens. If you look at the Go Fest this last year, we had Zacian and Zeramazenta, and for the first time ever during a Go Fest, we ended up with a different legendary raid boss on the Saturday to the Sunday. So if you take into account that, them perhaps testing that for the first time ever, having a different legendary, of course we had Zeramazenta on the Saturday, we had Zacian on the Sunday. If you fast forward till next year, the 10th anniversary of Pokemon GO, a big, big, big milestone. And I would fully expect Mega Mewtwo, which is going to be the last one of the Megas to be released from this set of Megas before the new game on the Switch comes out. I would fully expect we may get Mega Mewtwo X potentially on raids on a Saturday for Go Fest and Mega Mewtwo Y on the Sunday. That is my opinion, but of course, let me know what you think of that. It would make a lot of sense for them to do that, but we'll have to wait and see, of course, what happens over the next year. But if you had a look on me, when just after the Go Fest this year, we obviously had the 9th anniversary event, and they released that 9th anniversary banner, if you remember. And on that banner, it sort of does signify a couple of things which are going to be coming into the game very soon. And right in the bottom left-hand corner of that banner, we saw Mega Metagross. So Mega Metagross is going to be the next Mega to be released. That'll be a big, big Mega release. And then after that, we've only got a couple of Megas left remaining. I could think Mega Camerupt, Mega Sharpedo, and then Mega Mewtwo. So there's only about 3 more Megas to be released until, well, 2 more Megas to be released until we see that Mega Mewtwo, I would say. And then, of course, we have all the new Megas which are going to come out on the new ZA game, which is coming out later this year. Well, around about in a month's time, I would say, on the Nintendo Switch. So very, very excited to see all those and see how they get implemented on Pokemon Go. I want to see Mewtwo. You reckon Almond Mewtwo will return? Now, from what I read up on this about a month ago, whether things have changed or not, I don't know. But somebody asked me about Almond Mewtwo on a live stream previously, and I went away and did a little bit of a research, and I actually found a statement, or during an interview, with one of the Pokemon Go bosses, and we talked about Almond Mewtwo. It's obviously a very, very sought after costume on Pokemon Go because of Mewtwo, and of course Stardust. Oh no, that would have been such a cool shiny. We'll get into Mewtwo in just a moment. Let me just see if we can catch this. That would have been such a cool shiny. Excellent throw. I can't do much better than that. No, it was not my day. It was not my day. So yeah, let's talk about the Almond Mewtwo again. So I was doing a bit of research. I went away after somebody had commented previously about a month ago asking about Almond Mewtwo and coming back. And what I managed to find was an interview with one of the Pokemon Go higher ups, one of the directors, I think it was, or something along those lines. And he basically stated that Almond Mewtwo would never be coming back in the game again. Now, I think he mentioned something about the licensing for the costumes or something like that. So potentially clone Pokemon, which of course come out at the same time as Almond Mewtwo, all because of that Mewtwo Strikes Back film that got released. I would not say, I don't think that they're going to come back after that statement he released. I don't think we will see Almond Mewtwo nor the clone Pokemon back. Now, it could have been the biggest bluff going. It could have been just to chuck people off a scent and then to surprise people next year during the 10th anniversary, or it could have been total facts. Now, we'll have to wait and see, because it would actually be quite a good tactic to throw people off the scent, to say, no, it's never going to come back. And then all of a sudden, for the 10th anniversary of Pokemon Go, it returns, and it will absolutely escalate it above everything for loads of people to start spending loads of money on it for raids and etc. So it may just be a very, very good tactic. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, Almond Mewtwo potentially never coming back, but we'll have to wait and see. I think if it ever does, the 10th anniversary is when it's going to happen. And if it doesn't happen then, I'm afraid I don't think I can see it coming back. So if you have got an Almond Mewtwo, keep hold of it. It's going to be really, really rare. And it's just a shame we've never managed to get the shiny version of it, but still, we'll wait and see what happens next year. I would say that would be the year, if any, it would make a return. So let's just catch up on a couple more of these comments. Yeah, Mega Mewtwo next year, 10th anniversary, exactly. Rev is thinking exactly the same as me. Also, Shadow Mewtwo in Giovanni would be nice to see. Of course, we've had Shadow Mewtwo already in the game. It was released during, like a raid weekend, I think it was. And it's actually come around twice, I think, now. Obviously, a couple of years ago as well now. It was one of the first legendaries to be on raids from Giovanni, and managed to get a couple of those shiny. So I can show you those in just a minute. Let's just catch this Oriokoro. Starlight has stayed in the ball. Oh, Weedle just jumping at the wrong time, man. Starley hasn't stayed in. Let's see if he does a... Hey, Vinsolo! How are you? Hopefully you're doing good. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, if you've only just added me today during the live stream, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we can hopefully make this channel bigger, which when it gets bigger, we can hopefully start doing giveaways and stuff. That would be a lovely thing to do, to be able to give back to you as a community. That would be really, really nice. And also, the bigger we get, obviously, hopefully the more live streams we can do, the more we can actually interact. And obviously, for those that have added me, we would love to be able to level up friendships as well during the live streams, and we can organise lucky eggs during the live streams for when we are interacting up on the friendship. So yeah, make sure to subscribe, turn that notification bell on, and you won't miss any time we go live. Excellent throw on a Heatmore. Yeah, I do remember you, Vinsolo. Don't worry, I do remember you. I wasn't just talking about new people then, just because you appeared. We've had a few new people today, so yeah, I do remember you from last time, don't worry. How many more watch hours do I need? Around about 1,000, to be fair. Around about 1,000 before we go to like the next stage and be able to grow the channel a bit. I think you've got to have like 3,000 watch hours in like any given rolling 12 months or something like that. So yeah, I think we're on about 2,000 so far. We were just over 2,000 at one stage, and then we dropped back down. So yeah, we're around about 1,900, something like that, in the last 12 months. But I'm trying to do as many live videos as we can, trying to interact with all you lovely people who tune in every time. And of course, the only way we can get bigger is by doing more consistent live videos, trying to get people to share it about their friends and family, and trying to get more people on the channel. And then we can grow as a community, and then start being able to give back as well, which will be a really nice thing to do. There you go. So we have got some really, really nice spawns this event. Some nice Magikarp candy, Bagon candy, Larvitar candy. And then also when the hour changes and we do get that lovely looking sky, then we start to see some very, very nice spawns indeed. Sizzle, Gengar, Cranidos, Shieldon. Some very, very nice candy to be able to get this event. There is a Larvitar. It's just a shame that when you do catch the first evolutions of something that can be Mega, it doesn't have a chance of dropping any Mega Energy. That'll be quite a nice thing. Not every time, of course, but if once every now and again you had Tyranitar Mega Energy drop from a Larvitar that you caught, that'll be quite a nice thing. would just help a few people to be able to get the Mega Energy for Pokemon that we haven't encountered on Mega Raids for quite some time. Zubat excellent throw. I always love when we get Zubat excellent throws. It is arguably one of the hardest excellent throws in the game, but we do achieve it every now and again. I'm going to try and keep spinning these stops whenever we do walk past them, because I don't want to be running out on Pokeballs during this event. Only 63, but we have got a couple of great balls and stuff, so we'll be okay for now. Just hoping that we've got enough Pokeballs to last us until 8 PM. And then after that, I don't really care, because that will be when the 4x catch XP in Stardust, and this event finishes 8 PM local time today. So that's also the time of which, if you haven't already completed any of your collection challenges from this event, you can hopefully complete them by then. There's only one that I haven't completed this event, and that is the one where you've got to evolve a Hisuian Quillfish. That's the only thing I need to do as well on that. I'm not sure what the reward from that one is, but I haven't completed it. You've got to win, I think it's only win 1 raid. It's normally win 10 raids with a Quillfish as your buddy to be able to evolve it, the Hisuian one. But I don't think I've bothered doing Hisuian Quillfish for a collection challenge this time around. Let's claim these tasks here. There's another Gorgeist, which is our Zorua. And of course another extra large, because we are doing the extra large trick, as you can call it. Yeah, that'd be awesome. That would, if we can get to that stage where people can become members and stuff like that, that would be an amazing step to be able to get to. Oh, just jumping at the wrong time. It hasn't actually stayed in the ball, so let's try it again. There we go. Excellent throw. Zubat, excellent throw challenge. Can we do it again? No, great throw. Oh well. Jonathan Nagy is here. Thanks very much for joining, Jonathan. Nice to see these names that keep coming back as well. Very, very cool. Larvitar. Bergmite did stay in. So follow a route task. That is the one for the white stripe basculin. So we will be doing that in just a moment. And we've also got catch 5 Pokemon, which rewards 1000 XP. Again, another lovely task to see this event. I'm so happy with the tasks, as well as the spawns, as well as the bonuses during this event. It is an overall amazing event. Credit where credit's due there. I mean, we haven't had anything new shiny released, so it is a really, really cool thing, really, that we can make an event so good when there's actually no new shinies. A new Pokemon release, of course, Hisuian Zorua, but no new shiny release. That would have been the tip of the iceberg, I think. The cherry on the cake. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And I'm very, very much happy with what the cake has to offer without the cherry on it. just jumping at the wrong time. That's the only little downside to this event. Very, very nice spawns in the wild, but some of them are so annoying to catch. Hence why I keep using golden raspberries as well. So we don't have to try and throw so many balls at the same Pokemon over and over again. And talking about that, Hisuian quillfish. We know how bees hate to be caught sometimes. Pikachu! How are you today? Hopefully you and Jonathan, who have just both joined the chat, are doing very, very good. Where are you from, or where do you normally do Pokemon hunting? So I'm from like the middle of the UK, effectively. So not far from Manchester. That would be my, if I was to go to a large city, that would probably be my go-to large city in terms of distance away. Awesome. It's been too hot here in the UK. I'm not used to this heat, what we've had this last week. Definitely not used to it. Wales, that is awesome. Are you only visiting in Wales, or is that where you've come from originally? '69 Magikarp. Excellent throw. Smoliv. Come from Birmingham, England. Very nice. Not far away then. Live in Wales. It's a lovely place in the world, Wales. I do regularly go that way myself on holiday. It's just one of those nice places that if you do live in the UK and you can only get away for a weekend or whatever, then yeah, going to Wales is just like the next best thing to going abroad, effectively. Just nice and quiet. You can go to Wales and just get completely lost because there's some places which are just nowhere near any more houses or anything like that. You're just really remote. It's just a beautiful place of the world. Spin 5 Pokestops or gyms. Might as well do that one. Yeah, so the Pokemon GO Fest, or the Pokemon Bus Tour, is going to Manchester, and it's also going, is that one you mean? One with a Pokemon bus? Because that's happening this next week. The Pokemon bus is going to Manchester and London. Next week it'll be in Manchester, this road trip one. You can see just below here, you can see there, the Pokemon GO road trip, Manchester. Now, with that event, I've looked into it because I was potentially going to book the day off work and go to Manchester to do it, because you can get a Manchester background Pikachu from raids, and of course it can be shiny. It does have a chance of being a background. It'll be a very, very cool background shiny to get. But other than that, there's not really much happening in that event. There's a couple of wild spawns, something that's not really overly rare being spawned in the wild. Obviously, we're putting up a few more Pokestops and different things like that around the bus. But other than that, it's not really something overly exciting. So I don't think it warrants having a day off work to go up to it. It's a shame. It's a shame because I could have done that. But yeah, I don't think I will be doing this time. The Manchester background as well doesn't look as nice as the London one. The London one is like the Tower of London Bridge. Looks a really, really cool background, whereas the Manchester one is just like the Manchester City, and it's just a bit overcrowded, and it's a little bit of a rubbish photo of a Manchester City, to be fair. But yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. If it was a nicer background, I would have perhaps gone. But yeah, I'm only going to hope that those sort of bus tours do get a little bit better over time, the more and more we do it. So, 6 p.m. and as you can see, everything has changed. We've got we don't know when we're going to have this. It doesn't happen every hour, but we've now got that lovely sky around us, that purpley grey sort of sky around us. And we've got some really, really cool Pokemon spawns as well. So we've got the Sizzle, obviously evolution of Cypher, obviously can be a Mega as well. So we've got him spawning in the wild, as you can see here. We are also potentially going to see Gengars this hour, Hisuian Sneasel. So the spawns have completely changed because of that shift in the sky colour. So, and as you can see, we've just spawned a Cranidos as well. So Cranidos is also spawning during this hour, which is a super cool spawn to have. Very, very nice candies. Of course, Rampardos is still up there as one of the best rock types, and as in total, in fact, it is up there as one of the best attack stats in the game still, even after the release of Necrozma, Zacian and Zacian. Zacian and Zaramazenta alternative forms, they have still regained Rampardos as one of the best attack stats in the game. So as a rock type, Rampardos is still really, really up there, and especially now its shadow form is out as well. Shadow Rampardos is super, super high up on the rock type rankings. So getting Cranidos candies will be really, really good for that reason. It's very much similar to a Gengar type Pokemon. It is a little bit glassy as a rock type Rampardos, but still has its bonuses and advantages of having a team of them for raids. So catch 10 Pokemon is Voltorb. We've got 427 as well, so not bad on the CP. Let's see if we can catch this Sizzle. Second time of asking, we have. Excellent throw there. Machop. And then we got Magnemite as well this hour, which Magnemite's a little bit more annoying to catch. Can be super, super annoying to try and do a excellent throw on Magnemite. I would say it's one of the more difficult ones during this event. Wild Gengar. So this is a moment after 8 or 9 years of playing Pokemon Go, we are going to get a shiny wild Gengar. No. It was worth a shout. It was worth a try. Definitely worth a try for Gengar. Could only imagine if that was shiny, that would have been crazy. I don't think I would ever have got rid of that Gengar. I'd have perhaps best buddied it as well. Just because it would have been my only one to have a wild one off. That would have been a cool bottle cap to use as well. Shiny Gengar in the wild. Turned into a Shundo because of a bottle cap. That would have been a cool use. Got 2 shiny Gengars in the wild, Aston. That is crazy. That is crazy. I've never had one. I've never had one. Let's see if we can catch this Machop. And then we'll go through the overgrown footpath, just because of how sunny it's been recently. We'll go through the overgrown footpath and make our way back towards some decent spawns. The things I do for this live stream, I tell you. Have you seen how overgrown this is? So I'll drop the camera down a little bit. You can see how overgrown it is. It is crazy. We're going to try. I'm going to try to just get through. So Pokemon storage is full. Clear out. Let's clear it all out. 133, yes, I'm sure. Now the filter is not getting rid of any Zoruas, so I'm keeping all my Zoruas for now, and then I can filter through those at the end and see if I can get any good ones. Yeah, someone needs to mow this field, I think. It's ridiculous. There we go, excellent throw. Let's get the comment phone back up and running. There's nettles and thistles as well. I'm getting stung mad in here. $8,960 candy. Sorry, XP candy. That would have been amazing if I got that many Zoro candy from one catch. That would have been next level. Right, completely covered in seeds and stuff, what have come off the plants. But we're through. We're all through. I've got loads of different seeds and stuff in my shoes though, so I'm going to have to sit down on a bench and empty the contents of my shoe, I think. In fact, we'll sit down here and do that. The iron chair. I've never heard of an iron chair Zorua. That is something new on me. I've obviously been not in the loop on that one. Let's just... I saw you getting a hundo, Aston. You got a hundo Hisuian Zorua? Is that for real? That is ridiculous if that is the case. Let's just get some confirmation on that, because that is ridiculous. Look, if you manage to get a hundo Hisuian Zorua. Yeah, it is going to be a forest batter. The iron chair special cases ones. Special cases ones? I'm lost there. I don't know what you mean. Their weight goes up to 3 kgs. Crazy. Hey Kiki, how are you? Good, good, good. Right, let's see what we've got around us to catch. Two seconds while I just tie my shoes again, and then we'll be underway. It is like the worst thing, getting something in your shoe. When you try and walk around, it just aggravates you. And annoyingly, I've got it in. Sizzle. Oh, that would have been a nice shiny. That would have been such a cool shiny. To be able to get any Pokemon that Mega Evolves shiny in the wild is such a cool thing. I've had a couple in the past, including a Shundu Lopunny, in fact, from the wild. That was a very, very cool wild mega. But yeah, I haven't had too many. It's probably one of the only ones I've had shiny. And lucky for me, it was a Hundo. Oh, it feels a little bit better now. Not as many plants in my shoe after walking through that overgrown field. So just bear with me a second while we'll just tie this shoelace again and then we're on our way. Right. 22 CP Porygon, which again is another spawn that we only see during this hour. Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Kiki. You got any shiny Charizards? I haven't actually been doing any Charizards, unfortunately, this event. I think I've only done one, and it wasn't shiny, only because I was helping somebody out. So yeah, no shiny Charizards. Have you managed to get any luck with Charizard this event? Of course, we do have Mega Blastoise coming tomorrow, so I would fully expect in around about a week's time we'll get Mega Venusaur, and that will just complete that trio. That's what I expect anyway. Excellent throw. No. Yeah, I do appreciate that. I do appreciate you sending me invites to Charizard. I'm just not remote raid as much at the moment because I'm running out of coins really bad. I mean, if you look at the coins I've got, 1,175, that's only enough to buy 6 remote raid passes, which, yeah, it's terribly low. So I'm trying to not do as many remote raids at the moment and try and use those coins on potentially lucky eggs, especially with a 4 times catch XP event, which is the 4 times catch XP event, which is on now. I don't even have 1 coin. Yeah, that's low. If you got 0 coins, yeah, that's real bad. That is terrible. I have like 80. Yeah, I try and make sure to get my 50 every day. I try and put my Pokemon in gyms, which I know are going to get attacked. So like when I drive through a local town and stuff, I always put them on gyms in there. If I put them on the ones near me, then they stay on there for days. Like literally days and days and days. If we have a look further down here, you'll be able to see 294 days one Pokemon's been on for. And then you've got 4 more which are over 100. That's what it does when you live in a remote area. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, making sure to take a few gyms in my local town. May hopefully get me coins that way. Right, we have got. He must be tied in that gym, Danza. Yeah, I think we started off going on like a nice holiday, and then we got stuck there, and then we can't get back. And every flight we try and get back on is just cancelled. It's like it's nice holiday gone wrong, and we just can never come back now. I think after a year, I'm just going to like disown them and just say, yeah, no, you're not coming back now. Goodbye. Goodbye forever. Gengar, no shiny. Not even a good throw. Right, come on. Let's get nailing these excellent throws. That wasn't a good start. Right, from this Cyndaquil, let's get nailing. No. From this Rowlet, let's get nailing some excellent throws. Hey, there we go. Sneasel needs a golden razz at that CP to go in first ball. Oshawott. Zubat. That's going to be a difficult excellent throw. Great throw. Take that. Krydos. Eevee. None of these are shiny for us today, which is annoying. How's the XP grind coming on, Danzo? Yes, very, very good actually during this event. So even though it's been unbelievably hot here in the UK, for the UK I mean, obviously other people might be looking at it thinking high 20s, low 30s, that's nothing. For the UK it's very, very warm. I'm not used to it. I'm not born to be in this heat. Yeah, late night grinding when it's ridiculously hot during the day. I am. Why are you leaving before you catch them in a Pokeball? So I'll tell you that in a minute. But yeah, I'm doing late night grinding to try and make the most of the weather when it's a bit cooler, so I don't get too hot. Today's probably the coolest it's been for about a week or so. So yeah, I'm okay today, but the other days it's been ridiculously too hot. So yeah, question before, I'll just read it out as it says it. So Gripblock says, why are you leaving you catch them in a Pokeball when you catch them in a Pokeball? So what it's called quick catching. So when I run away like that Eevee, you can see there has now appeared in my storage. So it quick catches. So I don't have to watch the animation where it rocks or anything like that. I can just throw a ball, run away, and hopefully it stayed in. Now it's not guaranteed, just like any catch isn't. You have to hit him as well. There you go. So 1697, it did stay in that time, but it's not guaranteed, just like any catch. It doesn't increase the catch rate in any single way, shape or form, but it does allow you to catch a lot quicker, and especially on events like on community days or spotlight hours where we have increased spawns. You do want to get through those spawns as quickly as possible. You want to get to as many spawns as possible, obviously increase your chance of getting shinies, and quick catching is definitely a way. Now, the only way you can do quick catching is by, depending on whether you're right or left-handed when you're throwing, you can hold down the berries or the Pokeballs in the bottom left-hand or right-hand corners. So for me, I've thrown my right hand. So for that instance, with my left hand, you can see here down here on the berry button, me sliding that up. If I slide that up and hold on to it on the screen with my left thumb, and with my right hand, I will throw a ball and then let go on both hands. The berry thing will come across, tap on the screen and run away. That is the quickest way to catch Pokemon on Pokemon GO, known as a quick catching technique. And you can do exactly the same if you're left-handed. You can swipe up the Pokeball. So I'm going to try this, but it won't go well because I'm not left-handed. So if you want to, you can swipe up the Pokeballs with your right hand and then throw with your left, like that. Let go, tap on the screen and run away. That is the easiest way to catch on Pokemon GO. It's the quickest way to catch on Pokemon GO. And it means that you can go through a load of spawns really quickly, especially during com days and also spotlight hours. So super cool way to catch Pokemon. Saves a lot of time. And look, we did an excellent throw on a Magnemite. That's pretty cool. But yeah, hopefully that helps you. Another excellent throw. And there's a couple of Hisuian Zoruas here. So those who have joined in on the video late today, we were explaining the Hisuian Zorua trick earlier during the stream, and I'll just mention it again now for those who have joined in late. So if you have Pumpkaboo or Gourgeist, which is Pumpkaboo's evolution, either as an extra small or extra large, if you make those into your buddy, so if you put a extra large Gourgeist like I have as my buddy, every single Zorua you catch, even though it comes up as tiny here, when I catch it, it will guarantee to be an extra large Hisuian Zorua. And that is because of the Pumpkaboo and Gourgeist. They are the only Pokemon in Pokemon GO which appear as a different size during the overmap. So the main map that you see on Pokemon GO, when you click on the spawns, Pumpkaboo, you can tell the different sizes in the wild on that map before you've even clicked on them. And that is the only Pokemon that happens to. So that also means that when you put it as your buddy, an extra large or extra small, you guarantee to get an extra large or extra small Hisuian Zorua during this event with that as your buddy. So a very, very big tip for anybody who wants to get an extra large or extra small. Potentially, it adds a little bit more to any hundos you get as well. If you're lucky enough to get a hundo Hisuian Zorua with this event, it would be super, super cool if it was an extra large or extra small as well. And of course, that is guaranteed by doing this little trick. So that's one less thing you've got to worry about. And then if you do get a hundo, super, super cool hundo with it being extra large or extra small. So that is definitely a nice trick to have. And that also works for the normal Zorua as well. Anything that identifies you your buddy, if you turn it into Pumpkaboo or Gourgeist of a different size, it will be that exact size for your Zorua. Another excellent throw on Magnemite. Has caught on this occasion. So in terms of XP this event so far, I will be doing a review video later on tonight where I did take a screenshot on Tuesday morning when this event started, and we will be able to compare that to the XP at the end of the event that we finish on. But in terms of this live stream, we started the live stream on 851,400, so 851,400,000, and we are now currently 1.2 million further ahead, and that's only in an hour. So 1.2 million in 1 hour is pretty cool. But yeah, I can guarantee you we have done a lot more than that during this event. So definitely tune in for that video later on. I'll either post it later tonight or tomorrow when we haven't got an event tomorrow, except the live video, which we will be live again tomorrow for Max Monday, 6 PM till 7 PM British summertime. So make sure to tune in for that. So effectively, wherever you are in the world, 24 hours from now, we will be live again for the Max Monday featuring Whalmer, Dynamax Whalmer being released into the game. So yeah, Dynamax Whalmer. We'll do that and see if we can get any good ones. And it's literally just a Pokedex filler. I don't think we're ever going to see any Dynamax Whalmers or Whale Lords being used in G-Max battles or anything anytime soon. I'll be very, very surprised if it's actually good against anything. So yeah, I think it's just going to be a Dynamax Pokedex filler. But we'll see. We'll do the event and see if we can get anything decent. Another excellent throw on Cyndaquil. And an excellent throw on Quillfish. Did it stay in? Yes, it did. Don't think Cyndaquil did though, annoyingly. No, it didn't. Let's try that Cyndaquil again. Terrible throw, and that means it will stay in. No, it hasn't. Cyndaquil just doesn't like me. It's fine. Have a golden Raz. Terrible throw. Yeah, it had a chance to stay on an excellent throw, and it decided to stay on a terrible throw. It's about right. But no, I've definitely seen I said it earlier on in this year, I've definitely seen a change in Pokemon spawns and their movement. So, and what I mean by that is when an excellent throw becomes available, when the circle gets small, that seems to be the case of when the Pokemon moves now. It never used to be like that. It used to move just randomly, but it seems to be a case of when that circle now gets to excellent throw, that is 9 times out of 10 when the Pokemon decides to do movement. So if you are trying to do excellent throws, you will find that a lot more often now you get either the ball hit back to you, or you just lose a ball entirely because of a Pokemon moving at that precise time. And I think that's been added into the game ever since the release of the white and black Kyurem. If you think about white and black Kyurem when they got released in the game during the GO tour back in February, start of March time, then those adventure effects that white and black Kyurem have allow you to hit excellent throws easier and to pause a Pokemon's movements. And what better way to get you to use the adventure effect more often, and therefore use more candies for your Kyurems, than to make it harder to do excellent throws normally. So of course, that is the reason they've changed that, is because so you can use that adventure effect more and more on the white and black Kyurem. Now, me personally, I haven't used those adventure effects. I think I've used them both once before, and that's it. I've never used them again since. And that's just because I still really like Dialga Roar of Time. I prefer that over everything else. The fact that you can extend a lucky egg like in these events for 2.5 hours at a time, of course, half an hour for the initial lucky egg and then freezing it for 2 hours. So we've currently got a 2.5 hour lucky egg on at the moment because of Roar of Time. And then obviously you can also freeze your daily adventure incense, which we've also done at the same time, and also a star piece. So 3 items, 3 very, very luxury items, very, very cool items that we've managed to freeze entirely for 2.5 hours at one time. So really, really nice adventure effect. The Dialga Origin form, Roar of Time, and of course Palkia as well. Palkia Origin form has a very, very, very cool spatial rend adventure effect, which increases the spawn circle, so you get even more spawns near you. So if you are living in a little bit of a remote area and there's a few fields that haven't got permissions to go into either side of you, then you could use that Roar of Time, that spatial rend, and pick up spawns from a wider circle, and it does become very, very handy. We have used it a couple of times on like spotlight hours in the past when we've been really wanted to shiny chase the thing that's spawning on spotlight hours. So getting those additional spawns means additional chances of getting shinies and additional chances of getting potentially hundos as well. So really, really nice adventure effect on both of the origin forms, Dialga and Palkia. So very, very nice adventure effects, and those are the go-to still for me to use those adventure effects. Those are the go-to. But let me know in the comments which adventure effects, with all the Pokemon we've had now that have been released with adventure effects. I think there's around about 8 now, with the inclusion of Zacian and Zamazenta with their Sword and Shield forms. Which adventure effects do you use most often in Pokemon Go? Are you still using Dialga Roar of Time and Palkia Spatial Rend more often than not, like me? Or are you using some of the new adventure effects on Zacian, Zamazenta, White Kyurem, Black Kyurem? Are you using those more often now? Let me know in the comments. It would be interesting to see what people are doing and what adventure effects you're using. Terrible throw on Sizzle. Let's try that again. We'll try an Ultra Ball with that CP as well. 1,872. Did stay in that time. 1,696 again. Very, very high CP. phone died. I always love it when people's phone dies. I mean, credit to you for finding a charger, turning it back on, and then jumping straight back on the live stream. That's commitment. Thanks very much for that. Yeah, I do like how they've all got different abilities. I think at this moment in time, probably the lesser used adventure effects are those. I have to go. Yeah, no worries. Thank you very much, Jonathan Nagy. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully I'll see you again very, very soon. But yeah, I think the lesser used adventure effects probably are those ones with the spawns. Now I think that's Necrozma, I believe, Dustmane and Dawnwings, I believe. Those adventure effects which bring certain Pokemon to you. I don't think I've heard many people using those. I think we all tried them when we first came out, but since then I've never thought to use them. I always forget about those ones. Them are the two that I always seem to forget about, even if it is something that's potentially I need during off-fight incense. I always forget to even check what spawns on them nowadays. So yeah, those are probably my go-to for the ones that I least use. But I think I'm probably right in saying most of the community have forgot about those ones. After around about a year now where we've had them, I think most of us have forgot about Dustmane and Dawnwings and Necrozma, their adventure effects. Gorgeist, of course, or Hisuian Zorua. Let's just get the comment phone back on again. Seems to be a case where the comment phone keeps going off, so just bear with me just a second while we set this back up again. There we go. So yeah, that's correct. The Dusk and Mane, I use them all the time for tasks like Catchmon when I'm not outside and need a few more mons. Yeah, that's fair play. Completely fair play. I always forget about them. Always forget about the Dustmane and Dawnwings. To be honest, when I need spawns, but I can't move, so I'm like sat at home late on or whatever, and it's too dark to go outside or whatever, it's, you know, I'm too tired or whatever. If I want spawns, let's say I've logged on my game early in the morning and somebody's triggered a best friend or whatever, I'll obviously want to lucky egg it, and then I'll obviously want the spawns. My go-to is just to put a Meltan box on, to transfer something to Pokemon Home and just catch Meltans for the next half an hour. That is always seemed to be my go-to. I think it's an hour, in fact, Meltan box. But yeah, Meltans are always a nice one to do as well. And you can do it so easy as well. You don't have to have a Switch nowadays. You can just use Pokemon Go Home, or Pokemon Home, should I say. And then send a Pokemon from Pokemon Go to Pokemon Home. You get a Meltan box in return, and then you just step that on like an instant. So that seems to be my go-to. I probably use more Stardust on my ability than on Mons. Yeah, I would say that's about right. I use way too much Stardust on Dialga for Roar of Time. I'm always doing Roar of Time. It's because I'm so stingy with Lucky Eggs. When I put a Lucky Egg on, I don't think half an hour is long enough for a Lucky Egg, so I always like to extend Lucky Eggs. Plus, I'm always out for more than half an hour, so a half an hour Lucky Egg is like pointless. I want I want it longer. I don't want to stack them as well because I just don't want to use more lucky eggs than I have to. I always raw time them. Very much like I've done today. Raw time for 2.5 hours instantly after putting it on. And then I'm happy. And I probably will add to that raw time as well. Follow a route. So there is actually a route starting from that gym that goes down this road. So we'll head up to that gym. We'll start the route. And then we'll go back. And then this is obviously the task which rewards the white stripe basculin. So it is something that we do want during this event. I have already managed to get the shiny before, and that was from last year's Go Fest when we had it on routes. I'm surprised he didn't do anything like that in this year's Go Fest, having route specific Pokemon, but we didn't bother this year. Perhaps with all the other things that were going on, we just didn't think it was necessary to add that as well. But yeah, it was a super, super cool addition last year for the Go Fest. For those that have got routes around you, at least anyway. Me personally, I've added quite a few routes in this area, so there isn't many areas you have to walk around here without a route if you wanted to. I'll sort of put them in so it's like a continuous loop of routes, so you can stop and start it at different points. So yeah, Rev says, tip for anyone using Row of Time, always put a look on Lucky Egg Star Piece 2, as you'll need to get Stardust back and extra grinding. Exactly. So using Row of Time, using any adventure effect, in fact, does take away quite a bit of Stardust. And the best way to get that back is by catching again. And of course, Star Piece, 50% increase in Stardust. So it just makes sense to make sure to put a Star Piece on and to gain back some of that Stardust that you've used. And especially in these sort of events, 4 times catch Stardust, 4 times catch XP means that you can quite easily get back the Stardust that you've lost using the adventure effect. You can quite easily get that back over the course of the time. I didn't realise how many spawns there was around here, to be fair. I thought this was quite quiet up here, but I've been pleasantly surprised. So the route starts from this gym, which used to be a stop, but got turned into a gym, the newest gym in my area, after we had a new stop. The new stop, which actually turned it, is that one there that I haven't spun. All the way up there. That is the new stop, and that triggered this to become a gym, which is pretty cool. So let's start this route and then head back down. So a couple of Hisuian Sneasels. Now Hisuian Sneasel does have a perma boosted shiny anyway. Around about 1 in 64, 1 in 128 for Hisuian Sneasel normally. So it is one of the Hisuians which is permanently boosted. Very much similar to Hisuian Growlithe, that is also permanently boosted. But the likes of Hisuian Quillfish and Voltorb, they're normally full odds, but they are boosted during this event. 1 in 128 for those during this event. And as we keep mentioning, 8 PM is the cutoff for this event today. So in just over an hour's time, we will sadly lose all of the 4 times catch XP and 4 times catch Stardust. But if you're upset about the XP going, you haven't got to be upset for long. The next event, which starts on Tuesday this next week, so 2 days time, again features 4 times catch XP, I believe. We'll double check that in just a moment. But there's definitely another event coming out very soon with 4 times catch XP. I believe it's this week. Maybe somebody in the comments can confirm that while I'm just catching. I believe it's this next Tuesday, the second Ultra Unlock event, where we'll see another 4 times catch XP. Let's just clear Pokemon storage out. Another 106 going in, transferred to a professor, getting munched up into candies. Cyndaquil, don't want to go too far away and miss out on that. Nice little excellent throw. And again, excellent throw on Rowlet. Oriakara, I'll use a Golden Raz just because it can be a little bit annoying to catch Oriakara. So let's go down and check out this Hisuian event. So the events are currently coming up, and let's go on to news. So go on to there and go news and go down here, and there's loads of events coming up. This Water Festival. So Tuesday, July the 15th till Sunday, July the 20th. Again, Tuesday till Sunday, we'll get more event bonuses as well. Rainy lore modules will last for 2 hours. Increased candy for nice throws or better. Increased chance to encounter shiny Staryu and shiny Tortuga. And Lapras wearing a scarf caught from raids may have a seasonal special background if you're lucky. So that would be a cool shiny to get. And it doesn't look like the XP event is during that week. So we will just keep an eye out for that. Let me just catch around these spawns here and we'll just see. I'm sure there's another event where we've got another 4 times catch XP coming up. Yeah, new Pokemon debut as well during that event. The multicolored fish. There's about 3 different forms of that fish. All of them completely different colours. Let's try again on that Rowlet. Quillfish, no shiny. Porygon. Don't mind Porygon spawns as long as they don't keep moving side to side. They are a pretty easy, excellent throw if you don't move. It's just annoying when you do throw a ball and it just moves at the wrong time. That's when it can get a little bit frustrating. Temperature is too hot on the phone, so the comment phone will be going off. But luckily I'll be able to still read your comments on the screen for a bit. Did we catch that Furfrou? We did. Weedle, Porygon. Those are spawning as well. There is Porygon. Magnemite. Still find it really hard to do an excellent throw Magnemite. Just really annoying. Soul Rock. Golden Razat. Excellent throw on Oshawott. Gorgeist again will bring us an extra large Zorua. Rowlet. So still, during this live stream, we still haven't managed to get a shiny, which is a little bit annoying, but most of these spawns, except the boosted Voltorb and Quillfish, are full odds, so it is a little bit difficult to find shinies this event, with most of them being full odds. There's a couple of Cranidosis around here. That'd be a nice shiny to get. Did manage to get one the other day. What can we add to that? There's 2 Cranidosis here. 68 CP. Terrible throw. We need to improve on these throws to make the most of this XP event. Cranidos just jumping at the wrong time. As we mentioned before, they do seem to move more often now when you get down to an excellent throw circle. That is when we tend to move. Yeah, it's really, really annoying. You can sometimes go days without getting a shiny and then just pop 3 or 4 off in one day. And then you're back to going days again without shinies. So yeah, it is just a really RNG game. But still, we'll keep trying, we'll keep catching. Hopefully we can get a shiny on stream today. Cranidos again, just jumping at the wrong time. Really annoying when that happens. Really annoying. Apom again, doing exactly the same. Excellent throw that time though. And we picked up a Zygarde cell, just a 1. But still, nice little Zygarde cell. Shiny Gengar? No. Still the most wanted wild spawn this event. That keeps avoiding us, Gengar. And let's complete this route. So this will do 2 follower route tasks, 2 chances to get a shiny white stripe Basculin. Gorgeist. Let's have a look and see how good this Zorua is. And see if we've actually picked up any decent Zoruas today. So Zorua and Freestar. And as you can see, we've got a couple today, extra large ones. Freestar there, and not a bad Freestar there, 14, 14, 12. That one's probably the best Zorua that we've had this event so far. And as you can see, a little bit worse for wear now. these rest ones. Well, that one's probably the nicest one, 93. Shiny, look for the white striped Basculin. Yes, let's have a quick look and see if any of those white striped Basculins are shiny. So, Rowlett stayed in the ball, I think. First one, 869. Not a good one, and not a shiny one. I think the Hundo's around about 893, something along those lines, if I remember right. If I got one today, surely you're getting it. Hopefully that's the case. Now, the second one. Can we go shiny white striped Basculin on this one? No, 886. Not bad, not terrible. We'll check out and see how good that one is in a moment. Excellent from a Quillfish. And great from the Oshawott. So, let's see, 4 stars. We haven't caught any 4 stars so far today. White striped Basculin, 886, was a 91 IV. So yeah, I believe it's around about 893, something like that for a Hundo. So not terribly far off, but still probably one of the better white striped Basculins that I've had. Let's see what raids we've got about. So we've got a Hisuian Growlithe up here. And then we've got a couple of Shadow raids, which is Shadow Registeel, as you can see there. One of them's hatched. And we've got a Solgaleo raid. Now, I don't mind doing a Solgaleo if people in the comments do want to do one as well. I think it's durable, Solgaleo. But yeah, if anybody did want to do a Solgaleo, let me know. We can probably do one before we walk too far away from it. Brookish is a cool fish Hundo, yeah. That is a very, very cool fish Hundo. Oshawott. For me, the starter Pokemon, doesn't matter what region it is, the starter Pokemon always seem to be real pains to catch. They always seem to not stay in first ball. That Zorua did. Unfortunately, we couldn't get an excellent throw on it. Sneasel. Managed to get an excellent throw on that. And we've got Spin Free Pokestall Gyms, Explore 2 kilometers, and Trade a Pokemon. So we'll get rid of a Trade a Pokemon for now. We haven't got anyone near us at the moment to do a trade with. And we'll get rid of Explore 2 because it is an event task. And it's just going to stop us getting event tasks for a little bit. In terms of the Spin Free Pokestops, we might as well keep all of that. It's going to be quite easy to complete like this. Let's try again on this Geodude. 970 CP. Terrible throw. Not been doing very good with the throws today. Doesn't feel like it anyway, compared to normal. So no takers on the Solgaleo raid. I haven't done many Solgaleo raids to be fair this time around. Shiny Cyndaquil. Not the shiny I was expecting. I must admit, not the shiny I was expecting, but still, a shiny starter Pokemon. Not too bad. Shiny Cyndaquil. Let's see how good it is. Terrible. Terrible. As always, terrible. 1 star. Let's go. Finally a shiny. Yes, finally a shiny. Perhaps not the best, but still. Shiny's a shiny. And it's a 0 star shiny, which has had a community day, so you can guarantee in around about 2 months' time, I'll probably delete that. But still, as it goes today, it's our only shiny. Cryogonal. That's a weird spawn. I know the Daily Adventure Incense doesn't throw some weird spawns out, but that is a little bit weird even for that. Even for the Daily Adventure Incense, that is a bit of a weird spawn today. I have 1 Hundo Solgaleo, but should I do more raids? Probably not. It's not going to be... It's a cool looking Pokemon, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to be overly useful. Because, of course, when you fuse it with Necrozma, it takes Necrozma stats rather than Solgaleo's. So if you fuse that Hundo Solgaleo with a Necrozma, it wouldn't be a Hundo. It would be whatever stats you fuse, whatever stats your Necrozma is that you fuse it with. So if you got like an 87 RV Necrozma and you fused it with a Hundo Solgaleo, it would go to an 87 RV Dustmane Necrozma. So yeah, definitely don't do that. Keep it as a Hundo, keep it as a Solgaleo, and you probably saw it until the shiny comes out, to be fair. I would fully expect the next time it comes out on raids we'll get the shiny one, which then I'll do more raids of. But at the moment, yeah, I don't think I'll be doing many more raids of Solgaleo. I think I did the raids during raid hour this week on Wednesday, and then that was it. I've not raided it since. Gengar? Shiny? No. It will happen. It will happen. I'm sure of it. I'm sure it will happen at some stage. It's got to, right? It's got to happen. It must happen at one stage. Trying to level 50 with Hundo, yeah. I'd probably get as high as you can, and then when it next comes on raids and you obviously raid more for it because you want the shiny, then you can use a candy for it then. I would wait until level 50 in it right now because, like I say, it isn't massively useful in the game. It's not like top tier in terms of raid type attackers and everything like that. So I would definitely wait for now. Perhaps pump in a rare candy if you want to and get it up to level 40. But in terms of XL, rare candy XL and stuff, I would just wait until it's next on raids. I would definitely try and get up to level 40 for now, and then when it's next on raids, then you can use the raid candy XL that you get from the raids for it. You could use that to get it from 40 to 50. That'll be my one. Don't you hate it when you throw a ball? Sorry, I just missed that comment, man. I'm just catching up on the comments. Of course, the comment phone is turned off because the phone got too hot. We'll try to turn that back on, actually. See if we can get that back on. We catch up on the comments. There we go. Turn the hotspot back on and hopefully we can catch up on the comments. Let's just catch up on these. Don't you hate it when you throw a ball literally in the circle and it doesn't count an excellent throw? Yes. Yes. I do that more often than not, to be fair. Every time I don't do an excellent throw, I think, how is that not an excellent throw? That's also annoying. Just as you're about to hit an excellent throw, it just smacks it away. So annoying. There are so many things in this game, mate. It's just like, gets you raging. Especially it just keeps on happening. But I suppose more often than not, when you are trying to do excellent throws, you either do an excellent throw or you don't do anything because you hit it just outside the circle. So it's either an excellent throw or not even a good throw, not even a nice throw. So it's a very thin line between being able to get an excellent and nothing at all, which in these events is not ideal because we want to get as many excellence as possible for that XP. But yeah, well, let's see what the last hour of the event has in stock for us, because it is 6:59. As you can see, all these spawns that I'm clicking on now are disappearing. So I can only assume we are going to go back to the normal hour. So the hour without the likes of Gengar, Scizor spawning. We'll go back to the normal hour, I would assume, being that we've just lost all those spawns around us. Let's see if the sky changes in any way in a moment. Let's catch this Hisuian Voltorb as it jumps away from an excellent throw. And as you can see, the map has gone back to normal. So that was the last hour of the event where we had that deep purple, greyish looking sky. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. What is in raids this week? So Terrakion is on level 5 raids. Tier 5 raids is Terrakion. That will get replaced. Obviously, Solgaleo will get replaced with Terrakion tomorrow. And then Mega Charizard, which is currently in Mega Raids, will get replaced by Mega Blastoise tomorrow. So that's the main changes in terms of raids. Dan's, what's your thoughts on Niantic announcing about a raid pass glitch is now officially part in the terms of service? Anyone does it, it will be term or permanent ban. Yeah, so of course, with me being an ambassador, I got knowledge of this firsthand from the ambassadors chat. And as always with these announcements, the ambassadors put it out to, like the lead ambassadors, should I say, Niantic themselves, they put it out to us as the ambassadors to then relay into our communities. And we have to put it in our own words. We have to change how it's written to us so that we're not just copying and pasting, and put it into our own words. And basically the way I described it to my community and the way is how I've read it basically, and exactly the way I'm going to describe to you. So of course, the terms of service announcement, which has been doing the rounds this last few days, you've probably seen it on Twitter and the likes, and you may even seen exact screenshots from the ambassador chat, which isn't allowed. It's a lot of people have been told off for that, and that's not what I do. I always write in my own words as I get told to do. So from all of that, how I've read it is that, of course, the big things that have happened in Pokemon Go, and I'll go back to just after Go Fest. If you think about it, just after Go Fest, Scopely completely took over Pokemon Go. Niantic signed over Pokemon Go to Scopely. Scopely brought it. The transfer was complete just after Go Fest, and that was only a couple of weeks ago. Then after that, people who were playing on the same account on 2 phones started to struggle with doing that. So that was one thing that has started to be, you know, I know a lot of people on Twitter and stuff like that, they were moaning about they used to raid on one phone and catch on the other while they were in a raid and stuff like that on the same account on 2 phones side by side, and they were complaining that that's no longer possible anymore. They seem to have fixed it, or it's incredibly difficult to do. And that seems to have happened just after Scopely took over. And then, of course, we've had this terms of service announcement come out the other day. And one of the big things from it is, of course, the GPS drift glitch, which people have been doing for quite some time now. And this is where you can click on a gym nearby to you, and a gym that you can potentially see that's not too far away, but close enough to you and further enough that you can't use a normal raid pass. You can potentially turn your location off. If you're on Android, turn it back on, and then chuck a normal pass in, a green or an orange pass if you haven't yet used your orange pass for that day. Or I think on iPhones, you minimize the app and then maximize it and spam it until you get in the raid using the orange or green pass. And I think a few people have been using that trick for a while now with no consequence. There's been no bans from it or anything like that. But it has now, the message that's been given to us ambassadors is it has now been filtered down to the engineering team, the Niantic engineering team, and it is still the Niantic engineering team because the whole Niantic team on Pokemon Go have now transferred over to Scopely as well. There isn't a brand new set of staff or anything like that. It's all still Niantic staff. They are just now getting paid by Scopely. So you'll still see Niantic support putting out updates for Pokemon Go. It's a little bit confusing. Potentially that may change in a few months' time when we've sorted everything out in that sort of respect. But as I read at the moment, is that since Scopely have took over, they are now going to start issuing more bans for more things. And that's, of course, the likes of people getting potentially cheap coins. That was also listed on what was given to us as an announcement. So people potentially using GPS or whatever to, VPN should I say, to change their location so that we can get cheap coins. I don't know how that works. I've never done it. So it's somehow you change your in-game currency or something to get it from a cheaper location or something like that. I've sort of understood it from what I've read, but other than that, I don't know exactly how you go about it. But that is classed as spoofing. That has been reiterated to us as that is classed as spoofing, and that we can identify every single user who does that, and that bans may be occurred because of that. And then, of course, the GPS drift. The GPS drift, a lot of people used it. It was a very handy thing to do, to be able to use a normal or orange raid pass instead of using a remote raid pass for raids that are near you, but you just couldn't get to, or you were just too tired potentially to get to if you were at home in the morning. I think what's happening here, and this is my opinion as a player and not an ambassador, and this is something that I will relate to my community, is that I think Scopely have taken over after GoFest. They've seen a few holes in the money bucket of which you can make from Pokemon Go. So a few little tweaks that they potentially think, if we close up these holes, we can make more money. If we stop people getting cheap coins, if we stop people doing the GPS drift trick, so we have to use remote raid passes instead, we'll get more coins, we'll get more revenue from that. We can make more money in this game by just tightening up these little tricks. And I think the one thing that was mentioned as well in the ambassador chat is, of course, the quick catch trick, which you see me do day in, day out on the live stream. The quick catch trick was also mentioned, and that isn't against terms of service. It is just a little trick. And of course, there's no monetization from quick catching. They don't make additional money by you catching slowly. They don't make additional money or lose money by you catching quickly. It is no monetary gain to them. So they're not going to fix that, in my respect, in my opinion. They're not going to fix that. They're going to allow you to still quick catch. They're going to allow it to still be a thing in the game. Just a little bit of a twerk to the game, a little bit of a nice gesture to the game, to anybody who can learn it. But the tricks and the little things that can potentially end up costing Scopely money, they're going to try and fix. They're going to try and fix up you being able to get cheap coins. They're going to try and fix you being able to IP into gyms, or use a normal pass into gyms instead of using a remote raid pass. And I think I can see where they're coming from. They want to, obviously, I'm going to restart the game while the map's just unloaded here. But I can see where they're coming from. They're going to try and make the most of the game, but I think what they'll end up doing by tightening up these holes, and I get the cheap coin trick, however you go ahead and get cheap coins, I understand that being blocked up because, the quick catch trick and the GPS drift trick, it was easy for people to do. It was something that anybody could do with very limited knowledge, with probably only being shown once. But however you go about doing these cheap coins, it obviously isn't an easy solution. It obviously isn't an easy thing to do, else everybody I speak to will be doing them. And I personally don't know anybody who does it, to my knowledge. So it obviously isn't an easy thing to do, but obviously people can do it, and it's unfair to those who can't. and obviously have to spend full pricing on them. So I can see the reason why they're trying to tighten up that hole. That's obviously a big money loss for them. If people are spending a lot lower amounts of money on coins than normal, I can see why they'd want to tighten that up. But in terms of the GPS stuff, I think it will go the other way. I think they're trying to close up that hole of losing money through GPS drifting, and trying to think, well, we're going to stop people using the GPS drift, and therefore we'll have to use remote raids. I don't think that'll happen. I think people just will stop raiding. You know, I just don't think that will happen. I think people will just raid less. So I think it will have the adverse effect. It will go against them. That's my opinion anyway. But yeah, I know I've waffled on a bit there, but with being an ambassador, I've obviously been told it firsthand, so. Yeah, exactly. I've risked too much money in this game. Exactly the same as what Rev said in the comments. I've put too much money in this game to end up risking my account. You know, I don't see the point in that. If I didn't have an account because of getting banned for trying to do something that could save me a couple of quid, I don't know how much cheaper these coins are, but you know, if you end up doing something like that, then what's it? And I must admit, the GPS drift trick, being able to jump into a raid close to you, I did used to do that. Since the announcement, I won't be doing it, because obviously they're tightening down on it, and I'm not going to do it. So I would advise everybody who's watching the channel to not do that trick anymore if you used to do it, because I can definitely see in a couple of weeks' time a big ban wave going out. Scopely obviously taken over now. I can fully see a big ban wave going out now, and nobody will be able to argue against it, because they have just listed and they've told their ambassadors to relay onto their communities. They've just told everybody, right, these are the rules. This is drawn a line under it. These are the rules. You cannot go away from these rules. These are the rules. And basically, I think they've pretty much given a heads up to everybody what they're going to be looking at over the next couple of weeks. And I think in a couple of weeks' time, when a big ban wave hits and people get banned because they've still been doing these tricks that we've been warned about this week, they're just going to turn around and say, well, you can't say you weren't warned. You know, you had a warning from your ambassador. You've seen it online. You've seen it on Twitter or YouTube or whatever. It's going to be I think it's going to be one of the biggest ban waves we've had in a couple of weeks' time. And I think they'll use this as a reason. You know, they'll say, well, you can't say you haven't been told. So yeah, the other one was, the other rule in particular was cheap coins. Being able to get cheap coins, you do something with a VPN or change your location or something. I don't know how you go about it, but that was highlighted. Quick catching, as I do day in, day out, that isn't against terms of service. You're allowed to do that, so that's fine. And I think that was it pretty much. The only other thing was like for ambassadors themselves. So like people who host events as an ambassador. We had a few more rules given to us what we can and can't do when we're hosting events. But yeah, other than that, for normal players, the GPS drift, the coins, and the information about quick catching, that was pretty much it. Oh, Pokemon GO++, that was one thing as well. So the Pokemon GO Plus device, so I've actually got mine in my pocket. This little device here, if you've got one of these, there's a few more terms of service which has been added to this. I don't know how we can view it, how we can know you've done these things, but I'll reel them off anyway. So with my Pokemon GO Plus, and for anybody else who's got one, I find the vibration really, really annoying. If you don't already know, these things vibrate like crazy. When I first had mine out of the box, on the day I got it delivered, I realised I cannot live with this vibration. And on the first day, I decided to crack it open, get a couple of little screws in there just next to the charger port, cracked it open, and found the vibration motor and cut it out. Just didn't want it to vibrate anymore. So I stopped it vibrating at all. So mine doesn't vibrate now, which I don't mind. I quite like it not vibrating because it does vibrate like mad. Now, we have listed that in this announcement, but it isn't against terms of service. So taking out the vibration motor from this device isn't against terms of service. So you're quite in your right to do that. What is against terms of service, but, well, it's not against it at the moment, modifying the device so you can quick catch, also that this can catch using Great Balls or Ultra Balls, which some people have done, because at the moment, if you use this to catch, auto catch, it only uses Pokeballs, and that's what mine does. It only uses Pokeballs. I haven't modified mine in any way in terms of that respect. But you can modify it in a way. I think you have to add like a little chip or something that you can buy off eBay or something like that. And you can modify it in a way. You might have to do some soldering or something. But you have to solder onto a circuit board, some sort of modification chip or whatever. And you can modify it in a way where you can use it to auto catch using Ultra and Great Balls. But that was listed, how it was written to the ambassadors during the announcement post this week was, it's currently not against terms of service to modify your Pokemon GO Plus device to auto catch using Great or Ultra, but it is seen as an advantage and they are going to be looking into it. So I think in a couple of months' time, they are going to add that to the terms of service that it is against the terms of service to modify the device in that way. I think taking out the vibration motor like I've done is completely, it's up to you. If you find it annoying, you can just cut it out. That's fine. No worries about that. But I think modifying in a way where you can use Great Balls or Ultra Balls, yeah, I think that's going to be added to the terms of service. I think at the moment, they can't find out a way in which to record if that's being done. I don't know how they can potentially see if that's being done. But because at the end of the day, your journal just, unless you can see from your journal that you're catching things with Great and Ultras while you connect to that device, I don't know how they can see it. But I think once they found out a way so that we can see it and that we can monitor it, then it'll be added to the terms of service. And I think modifying your Pokemon GO Plus to use to Ultras will become against terms of service in the near future. So I would advise against that. If you've not done it already, don't do it. If you have done it already, be very careful in a couple of months' time, because I think it will be added to the terms of service and you may get a ban from it. I don't want anybody watching this channel to get a ban. That is for sure. So yeah, I've waffled on there. I've definitely waffled on. But no, hopefully if I haven't made you fall asleep, you found some information in there that is good to you. Right, so we're into the last 40 minutes of this event. Let's see If we get a couple more excellent throws, quite a bit more XP, and see what we finish on for the event. One shiny today during the live stream so far. Yeah, I think most people know most things now. I think with what's been put online, what's been told to communities and stuff like that, I don't think any of the ambassadors have held anything back. I don't think they're within a right to hold anything back. I think as soon as we get it told as ambassadors, we should relay it to the communities and to people online and inform people. That is how the system works in a way. They pass it down to us as ambassadors and we inform everyone else, basically. We're effectively our puppets. But yeah, I think most people have heard everything now, and you know, they know the score, they know the drill. And I think definitely in the next couple of weeks we are going to be being watched like a hawk, I think, in terms of the rules they've recently put out. Are you going to any of the Pokemon GO road trips? I was tempted to go to a Manchester one. The Manchester one is on the July the 16th, which is Tuesday, I believe, Wednesday, something like that this next week. I was tempted to go to that one, but I'm at the lake right now, but checking my phone, seeing your live, left a like, I have to go by. Thanks very much, YT Slams. Yeah, so it's the 16th, Manchester. I was tempted to go that one, but when I looked into the event itself, we obviously have the Pikachu with a background on raids, and we've got obviously a few more stops and gyms, and nearby the bus, the Pokemon GO bus, which is going to be going around on this road trip. But the spawns that are going to be happening during the event aren't really that exciting. I didn't know whether to just go for the experience or whether to not bother. And I'm still in that scenario. I'm probably more edging towards not bothering because it isn't overly exciting in terms of an event. It just looks a little bit meh, really, if you want to describe it as an emoji. Just a bit meh. You know, yes, a nice background Pikachu would be nice, you know, but other than that, is there anything else spawning really other than that? I don't think there is. There's no unknowns or anything like that. I think if unknowns are in the wild, that would be like a different scenario. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the Pikas have a location background and up to 5 special trays per day. Yeah, that's pretty much it, isn't it? You know, I don't know. I know people are going to go mad for those Pikas, but also 3 times ball from swinging stops. Yeah, I just don't know whether it's worth travelling the distance to go to Manchester to do it and booking a day off work. Is anyone else going? Is anybody going to the Manchester or London one? Out of the two, I would definitely prefer the London background. Yeah, it's not too crazy of an event. I need 2 more shinies so that I have 100. That is very, very cool. Yeah, it's a free event. Yeah, that's fair play. Yeah, true. I think if I lived a little bit closer to Manchester, I'd go. But I mean, saying that, I'm not too far away. Yeah, I don't know. I think tonight I'll sit down, study the event in its entirety and make a decision. And who knows, we'll have to wait to see if I do go or not. Are you going, Aston, or not? Are you going to the Manchester one? I wish. You should go. If you won't go, you should go. Or is it just a case of it's a bit of an awkward day? I suppose Wednesday is a little bit awkward, isn't it? Oh, I live in India. Yeah, I thought you lived in the UK. Yeah, that is awkward. I can see why that would be awkward now. my bad. I can see why it's so awkward now. Well, maybe I'll go just because you can't. Maybe I'll go and get you a picture. Would have met you by now if I was in the UK. Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Christ. Yeah, I think I'll make a decision tonight on whether I am going to Manchester or not. The London one looks really cool. The London background looks really, really cool. But I'm going to have to see. Manchester's a lot closer than London. Although the London background is cooler. Manchester's a lot closer than London. And I think we pretty much offer the same sort of... The background obviously changes, but I think the event as a whole is pretty much the same in Manchester or what's it. So, guess how much I have to pay to salmon fish in Norway? I don't know. I wouldn't like to guess. Excellent throw. On a Mantine. All backgrounds are cool, but London is just better. Yeah, it is. The Tower of London Bridge in the background is just such a cool background. The Manchester one's okay. It's not terrible, but it's not the best. It's just a location background. But yeah, the Tower of London Bridge is very, very cool. The Pokemon GO Fest that was in London, it was in Brockhurst Park, I believe it was, in 2023. I went down to that one and ended up getting a couple of backgrounds there. And one of the backgrounds I got was shiny, and it was very much in contention to be used for my for my gold bottle cap. But yeah, there we go. That is a very, very cool background. Big Ben, Houses of Parliament, very, very cool background. So yeah, that is one of my favourites. Maybe I'll use a gold bottle cap on it next time. Yeah, it is really cool. I think I've got a couple more location backgrounds, but it isn't many that I've got. I think they've mainly been traded to me. So we've got London background, Rayquaza, Yveltal, Xerneas, Yveltal, Shiny, Yveltal. London background, Cresselia. When it loads, there we go. LA one, this was traded to me, that's pretty cool background. A couple more LA ones. All those were traded to me. New York one, that is a very, very cool background. Very cool background. Hawaii, super cool background, that one. Again, traded to me. Another couple of LA ones. South Korea one, yeah, it's quite a nice background. This one is super cool because it's obviously off that Expo event. Very, very cool shiny background. Again, traded to me. This one is from California. So nice background on that one. Osaka. And then this one is a baseball one, which again was traded to me. So I've had a lot through trades. I do like the location backgrounds, as do most other people. And I've had to trade for a lot of them. London is the only one I've managed to get myself. But yeah, do quite like the London background. Got all 4 of the Expo Shinies on trades. That is very, very cool. Super cool. I only managed to get Pikachu from a trade, unfortunately. I was happy with it, but unfortunately only a Pikachu out of the 4 that were available. Right, let's just do a raw time for the next 24 minutes. See where that leads us up to. We may have to do a little bit more of a raw time towards the end to make the most of it. But I'll take us up to around about 57 minutes past, so that should pretty much do us for this event. And let's get the Pokemon GO Plus on, just to help us spin a couple of these stops, because we are going to need the Pokeballs for the next 20 minutes or so. Squirtle. Bulbasaur, shall we do it or not? Tempted to say not, so we got more particles for tomorrow. We have just picked up a follow route task, so we can do that in just a second. Excellent throw there. Right, while we are non-spawns at the moment, don't want to change the outfit. Let's go over to friends and let's open up some gifts so that we can level up with a few people, but more so to get Pokeballs. Let's send a few gifts out as well while we've got some in. Let's just stock up on Pokeballs from these gifts and then we'll go again. We only need enough Pokeballs just to see us to the end of this event, and I'm quite happy to run on 0 Pokeballs for the next few hours after this event. Just need the Pokeballs while there's 4 times catch XP and 4 times catch Stardust. So I'm just pinning these and unpinning them just so we get the Scatterbug tasks. So we'll do a couple more and then we'll finish the gifts and then just crack on with the spawns. Right, we'll crack on with the spawns now. Marini Scatterbug, 206, 211 is a hundo for Scatterbug. Quick catch on the Scatterbug, and let's see if any more Scatterbugs are going to be appearing. No. So follow a route. Let's get this route started. Pub to Nature Reserve. Let's do that one. Excellent through there. Spin that stop. Make sure to spin the gym if it hasn't already. I think the Pokemon GO Plus has took advantage of that. How many platinum medals have you got? I don't think I've asked before. Platinum medals, we scroll down here, you can see that 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36 platinum medals. Yeah, 36 platinums at the moment. We're getting agonisingly close to the unknown as well. I've got 26 out of the 28, so I've got the gold one now. But we need another 2 more unknowns to be able to get that platinum. That'll be a super cool one to get. I do love me unknowns. I do love unknowns. I think they're so cool. I take the L here. Right, how many platinums have you got? Hey King K, how are you? Do you think Mewtwo will ever come back? Yes, it definitely will come back. Next year's Go Fest, 10th anniversary. Big occasion. And I would fully expect Mega Mewtwo to be released. That is my opinion. 27 not counting. King K says he's good, brilliant. Thanks so much for joining today. Oh, terrible throws. Things just seem to keep moving now. Don't know why. I might have to start using some some nanabs to stop them moving. I have a 3,350 something Tyranitar. That is pretty cool. That is a pretty cool one. I think Tyranitar. So yeah, 4,335 it maxes out at. There's a hundo. So we've got quite a few Tyranitars. Favourite Pokemon, Gengar, by a mile. Gengar is definitely my favourite. I'm really looking forward to a Gleesh coming out. That's going to be quite a cool Pokemon. Obviously Hone Age, its first form, then Double Age. Zapdos is a very cool Pokemon. That's a good choice. What's your thoughts on me Galarian Zapdos? Is that one of your favourites as well, or do you prefer just a normal Kanto Zapdos? Normal, yeah. Yeah, I would say I do like the Galarian Zapdos, but the Kanto one is just something. It's just OG, isn't it? A bit more old school. Yeah, it is at the end of a pass as well. That is right. Good. Of a pass. And it comes obviously with a special background as well. Yeah, the Galarian birds are cool. I do like the Galarian bird shinies, how they've made them the same colours as Kantos and how they've linked them. I do really like that idea. Credit where credit's due there, they've done a very good job of those. yeah, shiny glaring Zapdos has, you know, with its colour scheme similar to normal Zapdos. It does look really, really cool. That's the only one I'm missing. I've only got Articuno as a shiny. Had one traded to me, an Articuno shiny, Mrs. Glaring. Had a glaring Articuno shiny traded to me. Went to 96 lucky. And then I managed to find my own Articuno in the wild during a community day of all days. And then after that, I've not seen any shiny. We literally had a Zapdos earlier today on the daily adventure incense, a glaring Zapdos, but unfortunately wasn't shiny. It's 2,500 odd CP as well. We did manage to get an excellent throw on it, but it just ran anyway. At that CP, I'm not surprised. Sending shiny luck to me, thank you very much. I caught like 16 birds yet to get my hands on a shiny Zap. Yeah, that is pretty annoying. Still, the shiny rates for them when we do spawn are 1 in 20, just like most legendaries. Thank you, Aston, I'll need it. Rev's just taking over shiny, look. Pormo. Okay, weird spawn. This Gorgeist in particular is my buddy, so he's just following me around. But yeah, the Gorgeist that don't move, that stay still, that spawn in the wild, them are the ones that are the Hisuian Zoruas. Obviously, it just copies the form of whatever your buddy is. Flygon off a daily. And we always say, whenever you get an evolution spawn off a daily, that is where a glaring bird could have spawned. So, who knows, that could have been a glaring bird in another walk of life. Don't have a Flygon in the decks. Hopefully you get one soon. There's hopefully events coming up where Trapinch will be about a lot, so you'll be able to get the candy, hopefully. Do you mean Goldango? The evolved form of Gimmighoul? One, 2, 1, 7, Quillfish. Can we get an excellent? No, can we help? Hopefully a few more spawns will appear in a minute. Another excellent throw on Magikarp. Hopefully we get another one here. No, terrible throw. Both of them staying in the ball. Of course he did. Oriakoro. I do like the Oricoro that we have here in the UK. The shiny of it is absolutely incredible. The black and red virtually swap, so it looks a very, very cool shiny. I'll show you. Oreo. There. That is such a cool shiny. I would argue that out of all the Oricoro forms, that is the nicest shiny. Maybe I'm just biased because it spawns here, but still. I think it's the nicest shiny there is. Right, let's complete this route. Follow route is complete. I have a Goldengo, if that's what you're on about, yeah. Yeah, I do have a Goldengo. If this is the guy you're on about. Him? Is that one you're on about? So you have that Oricoro too, do you? That's pretty cool. I thought you ended up with a different Oricoro. Right, let's get this white stripe Basculin, no shiny. Hatch and egg has also been done. So let's just spend 2 seconds now changing or putting our charger pack on. So, just so you're all aware, I will have to disconnect the microphone to put the charging pack on, which means that audio will slightly change. I'll still be doing audio, it just won't be probably as clear as what it is now. So just bear with me while I set that up. You may see a little bit of a change in the audio. And this is just so we can get the charger pack in. So hopefully you can still hear me okay. It's just may have changed a little bit. 6k dust for a Chime Echo, exactly, it's ridiculous. It's already a boosted dust one, of course, so when it's 4 times boost as well as a star piece, it goes insane. Normally 1000 dust, and then obviously times that by 6. We need Ardeno back in wild. I did actually catch an Ardeno yesterday, 2 Ardenos from the Daily Adventure Incense, and they ended up getting 12,500 dust from them each. So ridiculous amount of dust with Ardeno during this event. I was very, very happy to get 2 off a daily. Yeah, 12,500 dust. I've got a screenshot of it somewhere on my phone. It was insane. Right, Quillfish there. Starly. So I'm nowhere near the rank 100 at the moment. I need to get up a few more ranks until we get near that. So let's just get these spawns around here. We are at the same rank. Same rank? In terms of what, sorry? Oh, in Go Pass. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I know a few people have already got to rank 100, but I think they may have brought a ticket, which may mean that they get extra Go points each day. I'm not sure how that works, but yeah, I haven't bothered buying the ticket this time around. It's the first month where I haven't bothered buying the ticket. I think it's just mainly because I'm not in a massive rush for lucky trinkets. I haven't got anything specific that I'd like to lucky trade, so I aren't going to waste £7 or £8 or whatever it is to get a lucky trinket when I don't know exactly what I want to lucky trade. Plus, I'm lucky friends with so many people. We had that event a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? The 9th celebration event, where you had increased lucky friends and stuff like that. So I will get the pass after hitting rank 100. Yeah, that's fair play. I think the Zapdos is in the free section of a rank, so I think if you hit rank 100 as a free play, you still get Zapdos. It's just you don't get the lucky trinket at rank 100. That is just a premium item. Let's see if we caught any hundos today. Don't think we had before. Still nothing. Glaceon, Leafeon, the last hundos we had. Got the lucky trinket today, nice. Any ideas what you want to use it on? What do you want to get as a lucky? Any ideas? What baby shiny mons have you got? I'll have a look in a minute. So we go shiny and hatch only, or egg only, should I say. There you go. So I've got Pichus, quite a few of them, some quite really rare Pichus with the snow hat, Pichus with a flower crown there, 98 shiny as well, very nice. Quite a few Cleffers, Igglybuffs, Togepis, Tyrogues, Smoochums, Elikids, Magpies, Azurill, Wynut, Badoos, Bonsleys, Mime Juniors, Happinis, Munchlax, Riolus, and more recently this little guy, Toxel. Very happy with him. 10km eggs hatch during the EV Com Day. Wrong question. Are you just asking questions? Wrong question, but cool collection. What was your question, man? What did you mean? That's cool. That is cool. I didn't manage to get any Toxels during that wild area, so I was super happy I managed to hatch one from a 10km egg. I think you're just asking questions to try and outdo me at this stage, aren't you? I must be better than him in one way, shape or form. I will find out what it is. I'm sure there's loads of things that you're better on. Better in the game than me. I'm sure of it. Perhaps an excellent throw in a Zubat. Perhaps you're better than that than me. Those were boosted during wild areas, so I had to get my hands on them. Yeah, exactly. It's just one of those. I don't really hatch that many eggs. If you ever watch me on my streams, I'm only normally hatching the free incubator. So I don't normally don't go crazy with eggs, just never have done. My breeder medal is not that high at all, really, being that I've been playing for 9 years. It is not that high. Yeah, it is probably the most tedious task of them all, to be fair. Hatching eggs. Unless there's something like really in eggs, like on hatch days with baby Pokemon. If it's a hatch day that I really want, then yes, I'll buy incubators. But other than that, there isn't many events where I actually go out and buy incubators. There's not really all that good things in eggs, to be fair. Because whatever's in eggs now will eventually get like an event where it's in the wild, or we'll get like a hatch day or whatever. So I just don't see the point. I think there's easier ways to get the shinies if you wait long enough. It's all about waiting, isn't it, I suppose? If you're not happy to wait and you want the shiny straight away, then yeah, you'll want to get the eggs. But I'm happy enough to wait, I think. Yeah, just steadily use the ones that you buy at the start of the year. Yeah, that's fair play. That's fair play. Oriakoro. Just managed to squeeze in another excellent throw there on a Starly, and it did stay in. And there is a lucky egg. It is finished. The daily adventure incense is soon going to follow. Are we going to get another spawn off a daily? No. Quite easily. No, 106 Pokemon caught off a daily during our nearly 3 hour daily. 4 times catch XP. We've got around about 90 seconds of it left. So let's see what we can do in these next 90 odd seconds. There's an excellent throw. A couple more of those would be nicely to make the most of it. Hisuian Voltorb. No last minute shinies on that. It doesn't look like it. Gorgeist. Maybe our last Hisuian Zorua for quite some time. Did stay in. Hisuian Voltorb, again, no shiny. Again, terrible throw. Yeah, I try and hit excellent throws. Today's not been a good day for excellent throws, in fairness. Yesterday I was hitting them loads. And I know how much XP I earned yesterday in 2.5 hours. I'll compare that to how much I earned today. And we'll see exactly which has been a better day. But yeah, today has been mediocre for excellent throws during my live stream, I would say. We definitely have had our better days. And there it is, 8 PM. The event is all now but finished. So, let's wrap up the live stream and see if we manage to get any hundos let's start off with that first. So 4-star, no last minute hundos. We did check around about half an hour ago, so we haven't managed to pick one up since then. A little bit disappointing, but still no hundos since the Eevee Classic Community Day weekend last weekend, where we actually picked up 2, which was amazing. Nundos, let's have a look at Nundos. Unfortunately, no Nundos, as you can see there. So we have got a tab set up for Nundos. No Nundos in that tab, in addition to the 21 we currently have. So no Nundos. Let's also have a look at our shinies. Now, we did manage to get a shiny. We managed to get 1 shiny, and it actually was our second one of the day. No, it was our first one of the day. That Hisuian Sneasel was yesterday, Hisuian Voltorb was yesterday, Kratos was yesterday, and Lilligant was yesterday. So we had a decent day yesterday, but today we only managed to get Cyndaquil. So Cyndaquil off a daily adventure incense was our only shiny of the day. A little bit disappointing, but still, a shiny is a shiny. It will stay in the storage for at least another couple of months, and we may get rid of it at some stage. Brookish Nundo dance. Yeah, I've got a Brookish Nundo and a Pico costume Nundo. Yeah, some really weird Nundos, to be fair. So costume Pico Nundo there, or Zundo, Nundo, whichever you want to call. I seem to alter which one I call them. Meltan, that is a really cool one. Another Nundo Pikachu, super cool. Nundo Ghastly, super cool. Nundo Pinsir, Nundo Brookish, and another one of those guys, whatever they're called, Grossy Flower, whatever it is. So yeah, quite a few decent Nundos. First and a first on the showcase. Can't complain too much about that. No lucky eggs, annoying. That's what we can complain about. There's always something we can find to complain about, that's sure. So, XP wise, in today's live stream, we started the live stream on 851.4 million. That's what we started the live stream on. And how that compares to the start of the event, we'll discuss later on when I do a video about the whole event as an entirety. But as you can see today, we have managed to earn 3 million XP, just over 3 million XP, about 3.05 million XP to be precise. So let's call it 3 million XP in 3 hours. Not bad at all, 1 million an hour, which is decent going. Obviously the excellent throws help. But yesterday, in 2.5 hours of walking around, I managed to do 3.6 million. So I would argue that in 3 hours, if I did do 3 hours yesterday, I would have done around about 4 million. So we're probably a little bit worse off today because we didn't hit as many excellent throws, but still 3 million XP in around about 3 hours time is not bad at all. Definitely not bad at all. We're not going to see that amount of XP for quite some time, and we are probably going to really struggle to get that amount of XP in that amount of time again for quite some time. So let's have a look at the in-game news before we do leave, because I'm sure that I saw somewhere that we were going to get 4 times XP again. So let's have a quick look. Is it on this event? It is on this event. So 22nd of July till Sunday, July the 27th, 10 AM till 8 PM, we will get the Hone Edge debut, and we will also get 4 times catch XP for catching Pokemon and 4 times catch Stardust. So I knew I'd seen it somewhere else. I knew we were going to get it all again. But this is the event we're going to be getting it all again. So a couple of weeks time, we have got to do it all again from Tuesday till Sunday again, 22nd of July till 27th of July. We will get the Hone Edge debut. We will get 4 times XP again. So again, we'll be putting a load of lucky eggs on during that event and hopefully getting just as much XP as we have done this week. So that is going to be it for today's live stream. I do really appreciate everybody who stuck with it from the start to the finish, or if you joined near the start to the finish, thanks very much for joining in. Thanks for everybody who's got involved in the comments as well. And hopefully, if you've tuned in late today, or you've missed quite a lot of the live stream today, you can hopefully join us tomorrow where we are going to be live during the Max Monday event featuring Dynamax Whalmer. So make sure to tune in for that. Like this video, subscribe to the channel as well, and turn that notification bell on so you know when we will go live tomorrow. But for the heads up, it's around about 22 hours until we go live tomorrow. So make sure to keep a note of that. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.